Hello there, this is Rom coming back at you with yet another couch video. Let me straighten this joint out a little bit. Hold up, y'all. Anyway, men and women will not see a man's looks the same way. And when I'm talking about looks, I ain't just talking about facial features, but I'll just say overall physical appearance. Let me be clear on that. And what inspired this video, but I've been seeing this the past few weeks, so paying more attention to it, but kind of came to a head when I saw a comment on one of my older videos this morning where some dude talking about, no homo, you look better clean shaven. And I didn't even feel like responding. I think I just deleted the comment. One thing, I will delete comments if they're kind of annoying. Because I'm like, because my response was going to be, well, that's kind of funny because I've had women that I've had sex with. Notice what I'm saying, that I've had sex with, complain if I shaved. And I've had other women several women hit my inbox on IG talking about, oh yeah, I like that beard. You know, it's ironic, and I gotta take responsibility for this. There was a video I did a few years ago saying when beard game was big. I actually said, yeah, it's a fad. Apparently it's not. Hey, I take responsibility for that. I don't know 100% of anything, you know. I know what I know, but I can still be surprised. So anyway, right? And I thought about that. I'm like, because I've seen other instances where you get men who will look at another man and think, okay, this is what women want. Like you got whole channels measuring a man's jawline or talking about a man's looks, or even with the height thing. Saying, oh yeah, he gotta be 6 feet, or body wise, they think this dude gotta be like low body fat percentage, and that's what the women want. I'm gonna tell you what, fellas, and this is very important to understand. I ain't even gonna throw out the moist thing. Fellas, you don't have a vagina. Men cannot look at another man and see what the woman see. One thing I've learned, women, when yes, looks matter to them, but not in the same way. They looking at a man totally different from how a man looking at another man. That's why it's stupid to ask, because I've had some dudes ask me, well, how do I look and everything? I say, I don't know, go find a woman whose words you trust. I don't know how that woman see. Because see, when a woman looking at you, she ain't just looking at you with her eyes, she's feeling you. And she's looking at a whole bunch of stuff too. And mainly she feeling you in her vagina. So it's impossible for a man to look at another man, even if he's hetero or even if he's gay, and tell what a woman will see, because he don't have a vagina. Like I use the example I just gave, because I've had women, because one thing about me, people know is I will go clean shaven. And just to be clear, it's for spiritual reasons. Sometimes I'll go, and I ain't going to explain it here. I'll just leave it like that, because I don't go deep into what I practice, but there's certain times of the year I will shave, because in fact my birthday's coming up. I always shave, and I'll just throw out for people who know it's the beginning of is my new year, so I always go clean shaven, but it grows back. But I'm gonna tell you what, I've had women straight up complain. They be like, well, why'd you shave? Seriously, that's the thing I get the most compliments on. The gray and everything. So the woman looking at me different from what some guys looking at me. And like, why would I care anyway? But see, that's the thing. A lot of guys be trying to tell other men. Like you got whole channels where a man will send his picture to a man and have this guy judging. They be looking at all this shit. Men don't be tripping. They like what they like. I'll say in general, a man needs to look like a man. He needs to look like a man, be built like. Because I'm going to tell you what, even with that thing, because you get some guys like on a physicality, thinking a man got to be super cut, like under 10% body fat. No. With most women, they want the guy to have a good body. They kind of want to have what I'm gonna tell you what, the guy who gets the most play body wise is what cousin T-Tall calls a roughneck. And those are usually not cut guys. Those are usually like those guys that look like construction workers or maybe firemen, police officers. Got some meat on them. In fact, I know that at my gym, there's this dude who's a legitimate alpha showpiece. You know, he got the height, body, everything. My man's told me, his wife said, hey, slow down. Leave a little bit on there. And it is a deeper reason for that. There's a deeper reason. Women got to feel a certain level of comfort, but they need to feel like that. Like I say, the biggest thing is if that man look like he's strong. Indeed, some of the biggest players out there, if you really look at some of the men who really get the women like crazy, they usually got a more, I say, closer to a football player build. Seriously. Closer to a football player build, so they ain't like super cut, but they got a solid body. In fact, years ago when I talked about good bar clans, I called them specifically bangers. Like those guys look like they can pick up some shit, but also look like they don't have a problem eating that hamburger. So if you want to be honest, but that's because a woman's looking at a man differently. See, here's the key. Women, they are most turned on by a masculine looking man. You know? So that when I say masculine, signs of it, so the facial hair and everything, that's very key. Veins, that's the key. Looking big, looking like he can pick up something, look like he could body slam somebody. You know? And I'm saying that in general, and this is from no one who's getting to play, actually talking with women. Everything. I even experienced that. Like when I was younger, early 90s, when I was really working out, body fat was real low. Got some play. But then when I put on, I wasn't working out, so I put on a little bit of weight. Some women who had encountered me before, they were like, oh yeah, I like it now. Shoot. They just like different things. In fact, I still remember the time this fine woman, she said, Rom, and I was 240 at the time when she said, Rom, I'm going to put 40 pounds on you. They like different shit. They looking at a man totally different. See, generally, like I would say, like I said, a masculine look. If a man, that's why you get some men, they might have like some roughness on them, especially around their face. They might, like some older men, they might have like a few wrinkles and stuff, look got kind of a rougher edge, but the women going crazy over them and stuff. Because the key word is masculinity. Anything that makes a man look masculine. Like if he looks young or boyish or anything, you get a few women who are like that. But usually those women who go craziest over that got some masculine energy in themselves. So they'll look at a man who's giving off more of that feminine thing. That clean cut and all of that. That's why a lot of women like some of those like rough street type of dudes, because they got a roughness to them. But that's the key. But whatever the case, and I'm saying that in general from not just observations, but from what women say. Because seriously, over the years, I've known plenty of guys who, for some dumb reasons, other men will say, nah, they don't look like that. How he getting women and stuff? And you talk to the women, they be like, he gorgeous. Men and women do not look at looks the same way. That's the bottom line. And like I said, it's because the woman has a vagina. So she got to feel that man as much. But see, what you have with men, honestly, it really is too much a thing of worrying about what another man thinks or what he's concerned with. Like any guys who watching this who like be checking out some of these, especially black pill channels and listening, or some of these guys talking about, well, you got to have this, you got to measure this. Well, here's the thing I would say. How come when you go out in the real world, some guys who don't have those very things be having multiple women? Seriously. Seriously. Or they be having some fine ass woman, but they ain't super cut. They ain't over 6 feet. And all of that. In fact, let me go off on a tangent too, because that's another thing I've noticed. Because the other day, There's a young lady that I actually had met her before, but I couldn't remember what her exact height was. But I saw in a picture with the celebrity. I ain't gonna give the celebrity. And as far as a young lady, people on my Connect Pal say know what I'm talking about because I just shared a picture of her. I saw her standing next to the celebrity, and I was like, I wonder what her height was exactly. I was wondering about her height because I was curious because in her pic she looks a little taller in her pics by herself. So I said, okay, let me see compared to this guy. And I saw the guy's height, but it was a celebrity thing. And I was looking at the comments, and I was like, how come only men are commenting on his height? Only men. Look, and that can lead to a bigger thing. See, I'm gonna tell y'all what with the height thing with women. In general, you just need to be taller than a woman. Women ain't big enough. Yes, you do get some women say 6 feet and stuff like that, but usually the women, most of the women who are like that are usually about 5'8", 5'7" and up, and they just want to be able to look up to the man. But the average height for a woman is 5'4". And so, see, one issue I'm seeing, you get a lot of guys, they be like, oh, I'm 5'8", I'm short, I'm short. I'm like, well, first of all, you're actually, globally, your average height. Globally, your average height. You know, because average height globally is 5'7" to 5'9". If you 5'10" and above, you're actually in a taller category. So you probably, if you 5'10" or above, you probably like top 25 to 30%. So you average height. And then this is how, because I know some guys still complain about it, this is how you deal with it. Get some of these little fine women, petite women who are like 5'1", 5'2", and you'll still be taller. Now, if you like 5 feet, well, okay, maybe that's going to be a bigger issue. But you got guys complaining, and I'm like, dude, you average height. You know, and you listen to another man. Women just want a guy taller. Like I said, and look, here's some game for the guys in that 5'7" to 5'9" range. Here's some, or even 5'6". Those little petite women, a lot of times they don't hit the wall as quick. They'll keep their pretty much size until their 50s. I have cousins who are in they like in the 5 foot to 5'2" range. They still built like 20-year-olds. Even putting on some weight, they keep their weight better. So it's like, okay, if you 5'8", you in that 5'7" to 5'8" range, you're already taller than these women. As long as the woman look up, she good. And let's be real, a lot of y'all don't want to mess with, yeah, a lot of y'all want those tiny, those smaller women, spin them around. She, you get them, focus on them. That's all. As long as you just taller, that's the only height women really care about. They care about height, but most of them ain't tripping over the 6. But you get some guys, gotta be like 5'11", saying, "Oh, he's 6 feet." He ain't taller than most of the fucking world. In fact, there's no average height on the planet that's over 6 feet in any country. The best you get is like some Scandinavian countries where the average height is like 5'11". Seriously. So stop tripping over it and stop listening to, seriously. Because even when I talk about body game, I specifically say the best body for you. And there's a deeper thing with that because every woman got a body that she's turned on by. That's why I talk about tribes. But don't be tripping over what some other man see. And unless that man is fucking moist, his opinion don't matter when you're dealing with women. That's why when guys, like I said, when men ask me, I say just get in your best shape, regardless of what it is. Just get in your best shape. It works better. Even when you talk about muscles, they don't necessarily mean bodybuilder muscles. I've seen some slimmer ectomorphic dudes who, got a chest popping and everything when they were getting women. I've seen some endomorphic dudes, bigger guys. They got those women. In fact, they be getting those big sitting on a 40 ass, big old booty type women. They be walking. It's like, yeah, seriously. So don't be trying, seriously. But overall, though, just understand that basic thing. A man and a woman cannot look at a man's looks and see the same thing. All right, and don't worry about it. Just every man should just worry about himself, present him, figuring out what his best shit is. All right, figuring out what his best shit is and what women are looking at. All right, or the women looking at on him. Then develop that shit. All right. So anyway, that's all I got for today. Now I know some people gonna come up, well, this science and this measuring rule and shit. Only go by what is actually happening in the real world. All right. So anyway, that's all I got for now. Talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.